of Blanton's
Restart
Gold.
this episode.
Okay, sure. Yeah, why
thanks.
not? Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special bonus episode of This Is My Bourbon Podcast, where we talk about the spirit of Kentucky. My name is Perry. Thank you all so much for being here on this special Friday with us. Is it Good Friday? I think Good Friday is when this episode's actually coming out. If not,
Every day.
Every
Friday is Good
Friday
Friday.
is Good Friday. Yeah, no kidding. We wanted to do a quick review of Blanton's Gold, which was the other bourbon that we were debating on reviewing for this past episode. We're all drinking out of Glencairns, of course. This bourbon is 103 proof. This is another export as well. Export-import. So we just got done reviewing the Blanton Straight from the Barrel, so I'm excited to hear what you guys actually think about this one. For me, it's a lot lighter.
Yeah.
It's a lot lighter. It's more mellow.
More like vanilla.
It's a lot
Yeah.
more mellow.
Heavier stuff.
I could almost see this being more of a everyday drinker.
Yeah. I could definitely sip this.
Yeah, for sure. Even though you haven't had a sip of it yet.
Well, yeah. Based off the nose.
The nose is super floral for me.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Super floral, just
I don't even
very
get
light and airy.
Yeah, I don't even get a lot of the your standard bourbon notes. I don't get a whole lot of caramel or
I get a lot
oak
of
or
fruit and
it's
floral.
exclusively fruit and floral.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it then, I guess.
Well, what was your thought on the nose?
Oh, I
Just
said
curious.
mainly vanilla. Is what I
Mainly
said.
vanilla? Okay. Wow, that's smooth.
Extremely smooth.
Oh,
Yeah.
smooth.
That's very light.
I am definitely getting just still the floral
I agree.
and the fruit.
I get it
and,
more now for me
Yeah.
personally in the
Yeah.
taste than I do in the nose.
And there's something hanging around too that's almost like hazelnutty. I mean, just on the very back end of it, with slight hints of citrus.
I get almond
too.
so I get what
See,
you're saying.
I think the nuttiness that we're kind of tasting, because I get that as well, is what we're considering. Oh, that's more of the bourbon taste we're feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to put words into your. That's just how I feel.
So, very quick turnaround on our review system here of nose, palate, finish, and price. Each is out of 5, and we tally it up for a total out of 20 at the end of everything. So, Tanner went first on the
Yes.
episode that actually came out this week.
Yes.
I'm going to let Curtis go first,
All
if he
right.
doesn't mind. And he takes another
Yeah.
big whiff of it.
Big whiff. Nose. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Yeah?
Actually, no. Give it a 3.5. Just
Okay.
because I love the smell of the floral and the floral, the fruit. I love that smell. I have to fault it though, just because I don't smell any of the typical notes of bourbon. You're like,
Right.
Where's the caramel? Where's the sweetness? Where's the, just a little bit of cinnamon, the baked goods, that kind of stuff. But with that being said, I love the smell of it. So a 3.5. Taste, the palate.
He takes another sip.
Palate, I'll give a 3.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, I like the nose better than the palate. Mostly just because you're still getting what you're getting on the nose, but it's not as prevalent.
The palate's almost sharp to me.
Yeah, it's a little
to give a physical description to it. It almost feels like you kind of are not you're getting stabbed,
yeah,
but you're getting pricked real quick.
Yeah,
with it,
exactly.
And
It's pungent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I definitely agree with that. And I mean, it's so good. I really enjoy it, and this could be an everyday thing for me.
Yeah.
It definitely could be.
But it's an export.
Yeah, but it's next. But it's so I can't. But it's sort of like one notish.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I get that.
You know, it's just
I
like
get that.
I love the one note. It's great, but I want a little more complexity with it. So finish is when you start to get some of that nuttiness, that bourbon flavor that you're really craving. So I'll give that a 3. I like the finish. I like that you're finally getting that, but it transitions from the floral just to the almonds, the nuttiness of it. And
So the MSRP on this is
I swear, if you say 110,
no, it's right. It's between about 65 and 70.
so towards the same around.
It's about the
regular
same
Blanton.
price as regular Blantons. Yeah. So would you pay 65 to 70 for this? Now, keep in mind, regular Blantons is 10 privilege points lower than this. I know what you're wrestling with there.
Say that again one more time.
That's so interesting to me.
So regular Blantons is 93 proof.
Yeah,
This is 103,
and this is more expensive.
and this is more expensive. But not by much.
Yeah,
By $5 to $10.
yeah, that's not. It's so different than regular Blantons.
It is.
I'm gonna have to give it a 2.5.
Mm.
I just don't.
The script has flipped.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, Tanner's teasing something different here.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to give it a 2.5. I
Okay.
just don't. I think regular Blanton's has so much more bourbon notes and quality and what I enjoy in a bourbon.
That's incredible. You gave it a 12 out of 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Our scale makes
It's
makes it
arguable.
easier to lower. Yeah.
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 And look, the way I see it too is that anything above a 10 is mostly favorable.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, if I were to, it's tough because when we do these like individual categories,
Yeah.
Right.
overall, I would probably like I gave it a 12
Yeah.
out of 20.
Yeah.
Overall, I would probably give it a 14.
Sure. Yeah, I get that.
Like overall, that's what I would call it. But individually,
I'm going to
I think
write
that's-
down
sure.
maybe 14.
Pad out numbers.
But individually, I guess I just go based off of.
Yeah, exactly. So, Tanner.
Ultimately, I'd say 14 out of 20.
Okay, sure.
4's across the board for me. Here's why.
4's across the board. My goodness.
So, yes, it is very one note, but that one note is very good. My argument for this is this. It is for price specifically, I think we've talked about it. Again, I would have it as a candle. My qualifier. It is very light. It doesn't smell like most bourbons I've smelled. Which sounds like I just go through like smelling bourbons in the way.
And candles.
Oh, this one smells like caramel.
But I
You're
think
church lady on acid is apparently
Yeah.
what you are.
or Target lady. 2 SNL alums there. No, but the palate I thought was pleasant. I did get the sharpness of it like you were talking about, but I didn't think that was an unpleasant quality. The finish was what I look for in a bourbon. I think the price point, it goes back to my other argument. I don't think that the bourbon that we just had is double the quality of this bourbon here, or close to. I also think that this bourbon
I think so.
would make sure, and we can argue
Yeah.
that all day long.
Yeah. I'm just stating.
Yeah. I think that this bourbon is the perfect gift bourbon for someone who says they like bourbon but doesn't know exactly how to move on to the next step. Right? Always has a bottle of Woodford or has a bottle of
I agree.
Makers or whatever. But
I get that.
this is
Which isn't that such a problem?
what do you mean?
There's so many people that are just like, oh yeah, I love bourbon. Bourbon's great. And they're just like, oh, what do you like?
I love Woodford.
Woodford.
I love Woodford.
Is there though? I don't know. That's a bit snobby to really say like you don't like bourbon as much as me because you drink one kind.
Here's the-
No,
here's-
I mean, I just think.
I think what we're encouraging though is
I just encourage
is trying something
more,
different.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
But
I
once you
don't.
found something you like.
Yeah, I don't mean to be like snobbish on
Sure.
that.
And we're on a podcast talking about bourbon. We are inherently snobs.
yeah.
There's no avoiding that.
Like, I don't mean to be snobbish on that. I just want
Sure.
like people who there's people who go Woodford, no doubt everything. It's the best that I've ever had, and it's like, yeah, but you haven't explored.
But what if it is the best they've ever had? What if that is to them the premium bourbon? You know what I mean? Like that's like saying
If they've explored,
you don't appreciate movies because all you like are action movies, right? It's like you didn't watch Get Out. Well, but to them, they didn't want to watch Get Out. They want to watch, Captain America: Civil War or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
I understand that. I just felt like I'm one to like.
I'm all
Be
for
open
I'm all
for
for exploration, and that's my point with
exploration,
this one.
like,
Is that
yeah.
this is a good way to get somebody to
Explore.
like an more expensive bourbon, get in touch with a brand they may not know, because Blanton, as much as we all know it, doesn't have a lot of like mass appeal presence. So I think this is a good gift bourbon for somebody who has bourbon on
I
stock but
agree.
doesn't drink it regularly or whatever.
And like I said too, this is another import-export.
Yes. makes it
Export-import.
complicated.
And where's this one from?
I think just about
Besides
anywhere,
Kentucky.
just about anywhere outside of the U.S. Now,
Okay.
The bottle.
there are a lot of places where you can go to, like an airport, and go to their duty-free store
Yeah.
and find these bottles.
Okay.
So they may be technically available in the United States.
Sure.
But you have
luck.
to go
to
around
an
the
airport.
system in order to get it to Kentucky.
Yeah.
Or anyway, so we're gonna I think stiff the price at $65 to $70.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Tanner rounds out at a 16,
16, yeah.
out of 20. For me, the nose was a 3, and again, like it was almost too one note. You know, like
That's what I
there's something really pleasant about it.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's great, but it's almost like not bourbon. You know, it kind of reminds me of honey bourbon. You know what I mean?
It's fun, yeah, sort of.
You know, like
I'm not I'm not going to compare it to honey bourbon. Sorry, not going to go there.
but like where it has the notes of bourbon that I love, but there's something like keeping me from enjoying the bourbon that comes out of the barrel, where I'm like, oh, there's oak, there's vanilla, there's caramel, there's, a little bit of heat and everything. But for me, this is like, you keep those two things, and then you're leaning a little bit more towards the honey side of it.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. It's definitely one note to the light, like honey, just
Yeah.
floral notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like one side, isn't it? There's three sections of like the kind of like chart.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
just strictly focuses on that one.
Yeah, I agree. And palate-wise, I think I'm going to give it a 4 because like some of the vanilla and the oak and the caramel kind of do hang around.
Mm.
But then it's like, surprise, here's the honey.
Yeah.
Here's the butterscotch. And there might actually
But
be
it's
a
not a
little bit.
surprise. It's just like, oh, that's what I expected.
Yeah, but and there's actually like there's some kind of like spice or cinnamon that comes in like at the very back end for me on the palate. And that leads into the finish, which is a 3.5 for me. Which is a little bit hot, but also kind of, I don't know. It's awfully smooth for 103 proof.
Yeah.
And then the price, I have to give a 4.5. You know, I think the proof is, sorry, the price is. Did I say proof both times?
No, you said price.
You said, yeah.
proof.
I said price then proof.
Proof then price.
Sorry. Whatever. The price, we've been drinking bourbon. The price at a 4.5, like, look, for me, I take into account, like, the experience that comes out of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think I can't think of another bourbon that quite has this experience, on the domestic market.
Yeah.
That Blanton's Gold does. So, not and again, it's a good gift bourbon.
Right.
I mean, and it's not going to break the bank.
Sure.
It's something you can have around to kind of trick people with almost.
Yeah.
There's just so much to it for, $70 that is going to, I wouldn't say impress, but, surprise people, I think. It's just, I like it. I like it quite a bit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
And I gave
It's
it...
just the one note.
Yeah. I gave it, what? 1, 8, 11... Oh, it's at 15 or 16.
What'd you have?
I had a 3 on the on the nose.
Yeah.
4 on the palate.
7.
I had a 3.5
10.5.
on the... Okay.
What's your last?
4.5.
So 16.
16.
No, 15. 4.5, right? Yeah, 15.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, 15. 15 for me is almost like an everyday drinker.
Yeah.
Especially at 103 proof.
It doesn't taste like 100.
No, it
No, it
really
doesn't.
doesn't. It's so smooth.
Yeah.
I mean, even now, it's almost like honey just... you just took a bottle of honey and just squeezed it into your
See, I don't
mouth.
get that.
No, I
I don't
just
think it's that much.
it just coats your tongue for me.
Mm.
It's just aggressively honey.
Yeah. See, I think apart from honey, I get it's just that light, airy, floral note.
Yeah, definitely.
With a hint of honey, I don't get the full honey that you're feeling.
It's just so honey for me. But anyway, so 16 out of 20, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Or no, you had a 15. I thought you meant me.
15. Okay, sorry. So Kurt had a
I'm gonna give it a 14.
maybe 14?
Give it a 14.
14
Okay, we're going to give it
somehow.
a 14 out of 20.
Yeah.
Tanner gave it 16. I gave it a 15 out of 20. Which I think overall is basically a favorable review.
Yeah.
For this one. So anyway,
Try it out.
yeah, if you can find it.
Yeah.
If you can win it in another auction.
Or if you're not
for
in the States.
$13.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Right? Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to this little bonus episode of This Is My Bourbon podcast. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at at My Bourbon Shop. Email us at thisismybourbonpodcast@gmail.com. You can use the hashtag This Is My Bourbon. You can use the hashtag This Is My Bourbon Podcast.
It's falling apart. We recorded for 2 hours.
Just take what we had from the last episode.
Yeah, just put it back in.
No, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, good night, everybody.
I'm Curtis.
I think I'm Tanner. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm Perry.
I
I'm
might
tired.
be Perry by this point.
Good night.